Learn how to make amazing LUTs in just a few clicks. Hi guys, I'm Johnny from CineD and I would love to share with you a little secret. We all know how it is. We film mostly in log picture profile, and then after editing we all want to grade and make the footage looks beautiful. Now there are two main ways to do this: either grade from within the editing platform that we're using, or buy or download for free some LUTs. But I wanted to try something a bit different. I wanted to take a complete control over what I do. I really wanted to create LUTs by myself. This is so satisfying. And then I came across Film AI. It's a full color grading application, but there are two main ways to do this in a very fast and efficient way. One is to import either a stills image or a short video into the application, and then with a few clicks you can create your own LUT. Or you can take from any film that you like a stills image and just create the look that you like from that image and apply it to your own LUT. Let's see how it's being done. Here I would like to show how I'm actually creating my own LUT. It will not be the perfect one because this is just for the purpose of demonstrating what I do. So first of all, this is my timeline in Premiere. This is just for demonstration, and I have here Rika with her grandmother. The first thing that I have to do is export a frame from the timeline. And the next thing is I want to launch the Film AI app. I will create a new project. I will call it Rika, and let me create it. The next thing will be to upload Rika's photo. So here it is, yeah. And I will import it. So I'll double click on Rika's photo. Here it is. And the next thing that I have to do is select my input, which manufacturer log file I use, and color temperature. So that was a Canon camera with daylight. It was a normal C-Log, and that brings the color of my image to the Rec 709 color space. And of course I have to make sure that my output is correct, and when I say output, I mean the type of monitor I'm viewing my work. In my case, it's an sRGB computer screen, so I leave it as is. The next thing, I have to look at the magic mode, and that's where the magic is really happening. I will click on it. And by the way, before entering and doing anything simple as I'm gonna to demonstrate, if you need other tools, this is a full-featured color correction application, but we're not going to touch this right now. It is simply not necessary for what I want to show. So I'm on the magic mode, and the first thing that I can look after is the exposure, because what I have to do now is I have simple tasks or simple steps here in order to create my look. So just quickly to show you, I can choose different exposure modes depending on how is my original one. By the way, if I double click, that's the original, and this is with the correction. Next thing is white balance. Again, I have a very wide selection of different color temperatures settings. That was the original. Maybe would like to keep it a little bit cooler. Then I go to the contrast. I have full control on the contrast. And now the magic will start. I'm using the Cine Looks button, and from here already I can create different looks that I want. And look how nice. Some of them are very useful, it's a matter of taste. Yeah? And I think I saw here something that I really liked to start with. I think it's this one. Next is the print film emulation, and again I'm showing you the possibilities. It's not necessarily that I'm doing an accurate job here. I will just choose something that I like more or less. It's this one, and the next step is to play a bit with the skin tones. I can play with them. I mean, just look at Rika's grandmother, and I will choose something here that makes sense to me. 1 second. Okay, this one. And then I can play with the shadows if I want, about the tint and the highlights, and then the blue, the green, and the yellow. And at the end I can add some warmth. So let's presume that this is the LUT that I want to create. Just that you can see what was the before, the actual Rec 709, and this is what I created here. So I can, of course, see the difference here. So that's what I created. And the next thing for me will be to download the LUT. I will call it again Rika LUT. And I will go back to Adobe Premiere. And here, this is still the flat picture profile. I will create quickly a new adjustment layer. I'll drag it to my timeline, and I will bring the LUT that I just created. Let me just apply this. And that's what I have. So this is the before, and this is the after. Now, if I have another shot, this one, and I want to apply the same LUT that I created on a different photo, all I have to do is I can add this as a match. So I'll call it Rika 1, and I will save it. The next thing is to bring the second photo. Let me just see where it is. This one. From my timeline. And as you can see, it's a flat picture profile. I will have to make sure that I'm on the right input, so that's again the normal Canon daylight, and my output is correct. But now I can right click here and I can apply the grade from my match, and that was my match. I will apply it, and I have it here. Now I will load the new LUT to Adobe Premiere, and the nice thing is that of course I can still adjust anything that I want. If it's the highlights are too strong for me, I can adjust them. If I need a bit of warmth, I can also add. So it's absolutely doable to play with whatever I want. But the LUT that I created, this is before and this is the after. So this is about the magic mode. And there's a second way to create a LUT, and this is also very interesting. Let me just upload a new fresh image of the same thing just for us to play with. Here it is. That's Rika and her grandmother. It's right here. So this is again the flat picture profile from Canon, and I want now to deploy the AI in order to take a look from a different movie and take the look from the other movie and actually apply it on Rika and her grandmother. I'm not doing really one-on-one match. This is just to show the possibility. So what I need to do is, first of all, I need to apply again what camera I'm using, and that was the Canon that I used here, daylight, and then sRGB. Now, the next thing that I have to bring the picture of the film that I actually want to emulate or simulate. 1 second, let me see where it is. I think it's this one. So let me open this, bring it to the app. I will double click it, and I have to choose the input and the output. Now, since it's here on my computer, the input and the output are both sRGB. Good. And the next thing, I want to add it as a match, and I will call it movie. Saved it. And then I will go again to Rika and her grandmother. This is the flat picture profile after I applied the correct Rec 709, and I will go to AI, and I will click on what I want, and I do apply. It will take a few seconds, and the system is applying the LUT on Rika and her grandmother. So as you can see, this is rather similar. Of course, I can play with this. I can still play quite a lot with anything I want here. I can deploy the magic mode again. I can do a lot of stuff, yeah. But I hope you will agree with me that it's rather amazing to take a still shot from a look that I like within a movie and then apply it on something that I'm doing. I will export the LUT. I will call it movie test. And the other thing that I need to do is simply change here in Premiere. 1 second, movie test. And here I have it. Guys, I hope it was useful in any way, and I promise you that FilmAI and Cinedy will continue to collaborate even tighter in the near future. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, guys.